What is up, fellow bench warmers? The NBA is back, and with the NBA, we are as well back. We are the Fantasy Bench Warmers. I am JJT with Kamish. Kamish Eric. Kamish, are you excited for the NBA season?
Yeah, very excited. I wish there were better games for tomorrow. I know a lot of people are excited for the Lakers, Warriors, Philly, Boston, but I wish there were like 3 or 4 games instead of just 2. Because the Lakers Warriors game, I'm not really excited about. I think
as Laker fans, I don't think we are excited about that game.
No, I know it's gonna be a lopsided contest. The Lakers is gonna win, by the second quarter. So, yeah, but it's good. It's good. I think a lot of people do not know that the games will start tomorrow. So this
there's a few confusion, I guess. There's a few confusion because in the dates of the games, October 18 in the US, that's when the game starts.
Yes.
That will be, if you are listening here in Manila or in the Philippines, it's October 19 for us here. So I think there's a bit of confusion on what date does it actually start. But like you said, tomorrow is a double header, just 2 games. But the real excitement probably starts on October 20. Yeah, Thursday. On Thursday, there'll be, I think, 12 games on that slate. But before we go into the schedule, today we'll talk more about the schedule, our usual weekly analyzer schedule analysis. Let's talk about some news first. There have been some injury updates as teams try to finalize their rosters for opening night. Chris Middleton will miss a few more weeks. Nothing really surprising there. I think everyone expected him. He also, I think early this month, it was also said that he might miss the first few games or the first few weeks of the season. And he's been dropping drafts in the drafts. I mean, yesterday in our Roto draft, I think he was picked at around pick 60 already. And it's considering it's a 60. Considering it's a Roto draft, I don't think that should happen. So Middleton is one guy that will miss a few weeks.
Yeah, we knew Middleton's gonna miss some time, but we were not sure how long because they're just vague about it. But the report now is that a couple of weeks. I was thinking probably a week only, probably a couple of games, but it looks like it's gonna be longer than that. It looks like, based on what I got from yesterday's update, they're going to take it slowly and surely with him. So it's negative. This report is a little bit negative for his value, which, as you said, people were already negative to begin with as he was falling in drafts. So this is not good for him. But if you got him in the 60s, that's still good. That's still good value.
Yeah. Let's talk about those that are, will probably be out in the early part of the season. JJJ, there's been some updates, some good updates. It was mentioned that they are close to doing 5-on-5 work on JJJ. I'm not sure what extent of the work that they'll be doing, but this is really very good news for JJJ, those who took their chances on Jaren Jackson Jr. Our timetable was, we were looking at the December, January. This is just October. If he does 5-on-5 work in October, maybe a November return could be a possibility.
No, I don't think a November return will happen. He based on the update, he's gonna come back with 5-on-5 drills and action in a couple of weeks. So I expect that to be November. I expect that to be November when he does 5-on-5 already. When you do 5-on-5, that's a big thing because after that, it's an actual scrimmage maybe or whatever. That will be a couple more weeks and then he could return. So the Christmas Day possibility, December 25, looks very, very promising for him. If he can return earlier than that, it's possible based on him being ahead of schedule. So it looks like Christmas Day could be the target. Yeah. So, yeah.
It looks like it's not as bad as what everyone was, thinking. But let's put some context into this, remember, 2 years ago, Jaren Jackson Jr. was set to return at a certain time and never really did. So, but at this point, we'll take the good news. We'll take the good news.
I think overall this injury, the tone, the even from Jaren Jackson when he's being interviewed is different from 2 years ago. The way I see it seems like he's very optimistic about this injury. So I'll give him. I don't think the situation 2 years ago will happen again. But that was what we were all worried about. I was worried about. But I think this is different. Right now, I'm looking at the updates and the tone, the interview, and everything. I think this might be different. He might come back latest January.
Yeah. Latest January. Another update I saw on Twitter or on my feeds are Lonzo Ball. I think he underwent another surgery to fix that nerve in his knee that's causing him some problems. This is according to LaVar. So I'm not sure how true or how valid this is, but if it came from your father, it might be true. But of course, this is LaVar, and everything that comes out of LaVar would probably be good news every time. So about his kids.
It's not been a good couple of months for the Ball family. LiAngelo was waived prior to the season.
LaMelo got injured.
Paid too. So far, one thing about Yahoo though, I would just inject this in. They should put INJ tags faster. LaMelo still doesn't have one as far as I see. So that's really irritating. But yeah, Lamelo's injured. He's probably going to be out a couple more weeks. Then this Lonzo thing. So probably LaVar is trying to change the
narrative a bit about the Ball brothers.
The Ball brothers.
So yeah, you can pick him up and stash him there. There's a long shot that he might come back later on, but I doubt he'll be back this year, this 2022. And we'll be happy. You'll probably be waiting until maybe after the trade deadline. They'll probably be more careful with him, given the seriousness of the injury there.
This is what I think about it. If you don't have anybody injured in your roster, you put him in the IL. You put him in the IL. If you have an IL slot, because some leagues have IL plus and no IL, like our leagues. So in that case, I would rather have flexibility, because a lot of game time decisions you can put them in IL plus. Yeah. But if you have an IL slot, you put him there. There's no loss, and if there's an injury that happens to your players, then just drop him. So it's just how you should do it. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to try to stash Lonzo Ball. I'm not drafting him at all. I don't care if he comes back and then looks good. Some other people can, take advantage of that, but I'm not going out of the way. But I see him in some waiver wire, so I think you can pick him up just in case. Just in case
he comes back. For tomorrow's games, Schroeder and Russell Westbrook Schroeder's out for 3 to 4 weeks, I think.
Yes.
This is I don't know if it's a stroke of bad luck or a curse for the Lakers. This is like the Kendrick Nunn situation. Of course, the extent of the injury might not be the same, but remember, Kendrick Nunn was one of the major quote unquote signings by the Lakers last year, who did not even play. And Schroeder is probably one of the major signings, unfortunately, by the Lakers. And he's on the onset out for 3 to 4 weeks. So I'm not sure if it's a curse already.
Hopefully not. But
he had some visa problems before this injury. So I don't know. Looks like it looks like the Lakers will have a very long season ahead of them.
Schroeder, if you picked him up, some people did pick him up when he was signed by the Lakers. If you don't have an IL available, I will drop him. 3 to 4 weeks when he comes back. As you said, he had visa problems. He has not even practiced with the team. He has not really been integrated into the system, to everything. So he will take time to ramp up. So 2 months? You'll have to wait 2 months to get the real Schroeder. Plus there's Kendrick Nunn, there's Patrick Beverly. Westbrook, by the way, the hamstring looks fine. He's day-to-day. Not day-to-day anymore. He's going to play tomorrow. So there's a lot of players there. Austin Reeves, Lonnie Walker. So right now, it's not worth it to stash Schroeder. Westbrook, on the other hand, Yeah, not also. Not someone to
Yeah, so Westbrook is the most popular Laker right now. For I guess um the most popular, not in a good way, but yeah, will most likely play tomorrow, although he is game time decision as of
yes.
now. LeBron is also game time decision.
They're
AD
playing.
is also game time decision, but I think it's more of just to put someone there. They've been doing this for
Yeah,
quite some time. Even last
yeah.
year, even 2 years ago, they put these two guys always on the game time decision or in the injury report. But let's move on to some good news. Jalen Suggs will be playing on Thursday.
Yeah.
Um,
With SGA also. Both
with
of them.
with Shea. So those are good news for his managers. I mean, especially for SGA. I think SGA has been dropping in some drafts, especially late. If you drafted a little late, he's been dropping down to maybe the fourth, fifth round. That might be good at this point, especially if you were anticipating him missing time early in the season. It looks like he's gonna play, so I think that's gonna be good news. And of course, the other guy is Jalen Suggs, will be ready. Surprisingly, who will be
Yeah.
ready? I mean, when he got injured, it didn't look good. We thought even if it might be a season-ending injury, but surprisingly, he will be playing on Thursday.
Yes. It was a knee sprain, but he got back. I don't know. In a couple of weeks, he's back. If he's available in any of your leagues, I'm gonna pick Jalen Suggs up.
Yeah,
I'm sure people dropped him because he didn't get the INJ tag, so people thought na, you know, not worth holding him in the roster if they don't have an IL plus there in the roster available. So they dropped him. Pick him up. I'm not saying he's gonna be good, really very very good, but there's a chance. He has a high
yeah,
upside. Last year, if his field goals improve, he could be mini Marcus Smart like with the steals and everything, the assists. So Suggs is someone to pick up.
yeah. He's probably
SGA,
one of the more. Suggs is probably one of the more better high upside type of pickup. I mean, if you're just picking up someone from the free agent pool, right? I mean, there probably aren't much there to choose from, especially at this point wherein no games has started yet. So I think he's one of the guys that can have a high upside when you pick him up. You were talking about SGA's return.
SGA's return surprising also. I was surprised. To be honest, I didn't expect this. That just shows you that you can just really speculate, but you never know what will happen in the NBA. The injury looked like he was gonna miss longer than this. It's also the knee. So and this is OKC, but this is bad for Trey Mann, for Jalen
Yeah,
Williams. So especially Jalen Williams. So I'm just gonna say it right now. I picked up Jalen Williams in 3, 4, 5 leagues. I think he's better player than Benedict Maturin, not Tari Eason. Benedict Maturin. People who are people are picking up. I think Jalen Williams is the better rookie, fantasy wise, this year. It might take time now.
yeah,
SGA is back. Lou Dort also got injured, but it apparently wasn't major. So now there's no pathway to minutes for Jalen Williams to get 25, 30, 27 minutes, maybe just 18, 20. So yeah, I'll wait for one game, but I'll be ready to drop Jalen Williams and also Trey Mann. And also Trey Mann.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, you might want to pick up Jalen Suggs and drop Trey Mann
Yeah, that's a
if you
good way.
pick him up, thinking that SGA will not be playing at the start of the season. So
This
yeah,
is weird. MCL sprain and he's back opening night. I don't understand
and
this
it's the OKC Thunder.
and of playing for the OKC Thunder.
I'm not sure if this is something that we are a good news now, but this might mean bad news later on in the season, where he might rest a little earlier than usual or expected, I guess. So yeah, those are some of the. Did we miss anyone?
Um, not that I know of. The others, Zion supposedly gonna play. Kristaps is gonna play. So there's not much, major players missing games tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. So now let's move on to the schedule. We posted the schedule analyzer both on our Facebook page and in the Twitter account. I posted a thread there about the schedule of week 1. Let's look into the number of games first. No teams with 5 or 4 games this week, so I think not there's really no one having a major advantage in terms of having 5 or 4 games, but a lot of teams, pretty much all the teams, have 3 games each, and then there will be 4 teams who will have 2 games. That's Milwaukee, Dallas, and Brooklyn, and New York. Right, so that's the first update. Now let's look into quality game days.
Yes, quality game days, because tomorrow, of course, just to recap what the quality game days means. Those are games usually for us in FBW. We use 5 games or below. For other people, they use 6, 7, depends on how they interpret it. For us, it's 5 games or below. For this coming week, it's only two days that are like that, which is tomorrow, Wednesday, and Friday. So that means if you have players who play in those days, it will be more valuable because, of course, there are very few games there. You can get a head start on your opponents. Usually, you'll get almost full schedule anyway on Thursday, on Saturday, on Sunday, on Monday. Mostly, you'll have full schedule. So streaming wise, it's very, very important to have players to target players in these days to stream, because you won't have any players anyway. So anybody you can pick up, you can roster. Unlike if you stream on Thursday, for instance, pick up a player, you might not be able to play that player because your roster is full, or you might have, if he's a shooting guard and you have 3 shooting guards already. So that's the thing about quality days.
Yeah. So you also, of course, in essence, you lose a move. You wasted a move, right? So at least if you pick up a player for the quality game days, you are sure that you will be able to play that guy or roster him in your lineup. So Wednesday Manila time, just to be clear, we have just 2 games, and then on Friday we also have 2 games.
Yes.
And very interesting that there are 2 teams who will be playing in these 2 games in these 2 days. That's Philadelphia and the Los Angeles Lakers. So those are the teams that do have those are the teams that you should target as far as because of having a good schedule. So the Lakers, Philly, and the Clippers is also the other team.
The Clippers will start their week late. I think they start their week on Friday already. So they won't have a game on Wednesday or Thursday. So they start their games Friday. But you can use it in such a way that you pick up their streamers for that Friday, because they have a game on Friday, Sunday, and Monday Manila time, which is still week 1 here in Manila. So that's three games right away out of 4 days. So that's what you can do. You can start with Philly and the Lakers start of the week, and then go with the Clippers later in the week. And there are also a lot of teams who have three games in 4 days in the middle part: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There are a lot of teams like that, 3 games in 4 days, so you can target those players. But for the start of the season, of course, Philadelphia and the Lakers. As we mentioned earlier about the Lakers, one player who was very popular streamer, I saw it, people already prepared, is Thomas Bryant, and he's not gonna play tomorrow. So he's out. So if you used him, sorry, but your move was wasted. You can drop him safely now. Maybe pick up Damian Jones, because I guess Damian will be the guy backing up Anthony Davis. They're not gonna start. Personally, I was late to this because I was doing so many things. I got Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves was my main guy.
One of our favorite here in Fantasy Bench One.
Yeah, I hope he starts. It could be Lonnie Walker. It could be Austin Reeves. I don't know how it really goes, but it could be him. So he's one player I'm targeting. In Philadelphia, I'm just gonna mention this name. I don't know if it's such a hunch. I know Montrezl Harrell is usually going to be not available in your leagues. Of course, Melton is not there. Paul Reed. Okay, Paul Reed is Embiid's backup. center. He's a guy who likes to get steals and blocks and, can rebound. So just if we have a streaming spot, try it. Let's see what happens tomorrow with Paul Reed.
Yeah, Paul Reed. We mentioned that most likely, you'll pick him up in deeper leagues, but just in case you have a spot there to stream with, even in shallower leagues like a 14 team or even a 12 team, since there are just going to be 2 games tomorrow, you can take a flyer on him and see. Of course, this all depends on who you drop, right? I mean,
no. This is my tip. No, in FBW we have 2 IL plus, right?
Yeah.
There's so many players who are GTD or whatever because of no nonsense injuries.
Yeah, just put them there, right?
Just put them there and then just pick up those players we just said. Reed, Reeves, Lonnie Walker, whoever's available there for tomorrow. And then drop those players and then just pick up and just, elevate those players in your IL plus for the next day, for the 12 game.
But if they don't play, and the other, since we are on a daily to day setting, you could wait until Friday on Thursday morning to see if you can elevate those in IL plus. But if they're not gonna be playing anyway, you just keep them there and not drop your ad for today so that you won't waste that ad. And maybe you can use him on Friday. I mean, that's another option as well, right? So you have to be smart with these moves, especially in our league wherein you only have 4 moves per week, and in some leagues there are caps as well in the max total number of moves. So another for the Clippers, they're also one of the best streaming teams with good schedules, especially towards the end. Reggie Jackson could be available. Marcus Morris could be available. I've seen some Marcus Morris stocks still available in some waiver wire. So I think he will start. I think he will start at the power forward position.
Possibly, yeah. I as far as I know that they'll start him, but they could change anytime. But
Reggie Jackson also starts, right?
Yeah, he's gonna start. So I think Kawhi is gonna miss one of the games this week because they have a back-to-back to end the week. So that's even better if Marcus Morris is available. If in your shallow league and Norman Powell somehow is there, like in your 10-team league, possible that Norman Powell is there. I don't know. Then he's a great guy to target at the end of the week. He should actually not be available, but if just in case he is in your waiver wires.
Yeah, and maybe lastly here, teams with the best schedule in terms of pace and matchups. This is early in terms of the teams we put up here because we really don't know. Since it's the start of the season, we're not sure what the pace will be. But based from the history of these teams, they're the best when it comes to the pace, and they have good matchups, right? Either their opponents have faster pace, low on defense, weak on defense. So Atlanta, the Hornets, and the Timberwolves. Atlanta would have Houston, Orlando, and Charlotte in their schedule today.
I like that.
All
I really like that.
tanking teams. It's going. Let's just hope that somehow it gets competitive until early in the fourth quarter, right? Because we don't want it to be.
That's the problem. That's a problem with games like this. But DeJounte, I would expect a big week from him. Houston, KPJ, Jalen Green. That's great matchup for DeJounte. I mean, who will guard him? Eric Gordon. So I mean, that's even Charlotte. I mean, Rozier, Oubre. Those guys don't play defense. Hayward. Nobody can guard DeJounte. Orlando might be tougher because if Suggs is gonna play, I mean that's gonna be tougher. But I think he's not healthy. So overall, this is a great schedule for the Hawks. Even Minnesota. I mean OKC back to back, 2 games OKC, and then Utah. Utah is different this year from last year. I'm projecting because of course no more Gobert, no more Donovan.
Well, coincidentally, it's Gobert on the other side.
Yes, so that's gonna be good. That's gonna be a great start for Edwards, Gobert, Cat. If you own these guys this week, should be a good start for you.
And lastly, the Hornets. The Hornets are known to have a fast-paced offense. Yeah. However, the only question mark right now is that they have a new coach in Steve Clifford, who is known for defense. So I'm not, and LaMelo's out. So I think I'm not sure how fast are they're gonna play, because usually it's LaMelo who pushes the pace. But they have a good matchup. They have San Antonio, they have New Orleans, and Atlanta. Potentially, some of these teams would have faster pace as well. Of course, San Antonio probably tanking, probably their best matchup in this week for this week. New Orleans, they'll probably lose there, but at least they won't. With Zion there, they might not just do a half court sets. Most of the time, they'll probably run as well. And Atlanta, of course, we talked about Atlanta having Trey Young there and a young core that could run up and down the floor. I think these teams, these are important when you have, let's say, a 12-game slate wherein you don't know who to play or who to roster because everyone's playing in your lineup. You might want to, pick from these teams as well because they have better matchups, they have faster pace, they can probably give you more stats here and there, right? So these might play some role, especially towards the latter part of your roster. I mean, we're not talking about Trey Young. You're benching your top guys like maybe LeBron or whoever for Trey Young just because they're Trey Young has a faster pace. Not like that, but more of your end of the roster guys. If you're deciding who to play, would you rather play this guy or this guy? Maybe you look into the matchups and you can use that in your decision making. All right, and lastly, of course, the back-to-backs. We'll post it here. Back-to-backs. There's really none for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then there's the teams. There will be some back-to-backs for Saturday and Sunday. Lots of teams will have back-to-backs on Saturday and Sunday. And then Sunday and Monday, all of these are Manila times. And lastly, Monday to Tuesday will also be crucial because if you want to add a player for your Judgment Day roster, you might want to choose from these three teams, Minnesota, Portland, and Utah, so that you could also use them at the start of week 2.
Yeah,
right?
And the important parts there, like back-to-backs, like Clippers, Kawhi probably will miss the game. I might think that SJ might miss one of OKC's back-to-back because he just came back from injury, but we don't know that for sure. And of course, Utah, we know Mike Conley's not going to play in back-to-backs, so I don't expect that to change right now. So mostly those are the things. So then we will find out who are players who will be rested more in back-to-backs as we go to the season.
Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting season. Very excited. I think I just had draft fatigue last night. I had my last draft and it didn't go too well for me. At least from my point of view, I was a little biased on some of the players, but I'm glad that tomorrow's gonna start, so we can start testing our teams, our drafts, and hopefully we'll all have a great season. Of course, not all of us will have a great season because some of our opponents might not have a great season because they're against Commish, they're against.
I mean, I didn't have a good draft.
I'm just kidding. All right, guys, that's it. We'll have daily, as we always do. Our daily fantasy quickies will be back. And for those followers in the Philippines, we'll also have Courtside DFS daily to talk about daily fantasy slate. And please, guys, subscribe to our channel. We're closing in on the 500 subscribers mark. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook, Fantasy Benchwarmers. You can also follow Commish. Commish, what's your Twitter handle?
Wait. What's my Twitter handle?
It's FBW_.
Yeah, FBW_com COMM_Eric.
Yeah. So we'll link all of these things in the description, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for another daily fantasy quickie. Bye, guys. Have fun.